Hey, how's it going there, lovely people of the internet? Welcome back to another episode of Attempts Were Made. This is episode 6, and today I'm joined by my lovely fellow host, Dickie.
I'm not on NyQuil this time. I'm doing great, everyone. I feel better, sorta, and that's the positive part.
Is that positive? Because I missed when you were a NyQuil. Wow. Can't speak today. And also...
Did you not?
It was the whole last episode. What? Evan was also on NyQuil, apparently.
Apparently. No, but also...
So I don't actually remember half the episode that we recorded. Apparently one of the parts that you cut out, Steve, I don't remember talking about it at all.
Oh my gosh, really? Okay, it's a good thing I cut it.
How did I get on there?
But we're also joined today by our guest, Stevesekai, who's not a host at all. Welcome back, Steve.
Thank you.
He's our favorite guest.
It's good to be a guest every episode. It's a spot of honor, truly.
When are you going to become a series regular?
No, honestly.
I don't know. How many episodes do I need to be on in a row to become a regular?
I think like 42.
I mean, the fact that you edited one of our episodes also, you're a really dedicated guest. Like, I would like, Evan, I would say by like episode 30, maybe if he keeps doing well, like, we'll keep him.
30. Oh my god.
No, that's
we just have a really long trial period for you.
Interesting fact. I edited the last episode, and Patreon is finally up. Also, I got that up. By the way, episodes are now a week early on Patreon. So by the time you're seeing this, the patrons, they're watching next week's episode. Your next week's episode. It's this week's episode for them. Mm-hmm. So you should go subscribe to the Patreon. All you got to do $3. That's all it takes.
$3. There's $1 for each boy. I think it's fair.
Mm-hmm. There's also a $500 tier. I made that as a joke. Honest, don't subscribe to that.
Okay,
No,
actually, I would love it if someone actually did.
It would be great if you did, but you probably shouldn't. You get nothing out of it. You get nothing special.
I think it was...
You get my love and respect. I'll send you a personal DM if you want.
I think like Nux used to have like a meme tier of like $5,000, and there was someone that would religiously every single month give him that money.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I should have made it 5,000, is what you're saying.
Yeah. I don't know if we have any loyal supporters like that just yet. But yeah, no. So gamers, I accidentally robbed a bank.
Sorry, what?
I accidentally robbed the bank. That's the thing that happened yesterday. I know. Listen, okay. First of all, I understand. All right, I shouldn't be robbing banks, especially given the fact that I'm Belizean. But So I went to the bank yesterday, and I went there to do my usual banking things. I needed a new debit card, a new credit card, because they're all expiring and what have you. But the first thing that happened was when I walked into the bank, I was treated like royalty. Right? I was just like, why is this happening? Like, I walk in and they're like, excuse me, what's your name? And I'm like, oh, it's like Evan. And they look me up or whatever in the system. They're like, oh, signature platinum member. Come right this way, sir. And I just got to skip the line and everything. And I was like, oh, this is weird. All right, cool, I guess. I go up to the counter and the lady is like, what do you like help with today? And I'm like, yeah, I just need a new debit card or whatever, which, in the past, by the way, if I ever needed a new debit card from my bank, they would like require that I call and like have to like do all this myself. But like, because I guess I'm a signature platinum member or whatever, they're like, oh yes, we'll do it for you. So she calls like the place up or whatever. It's like, oh, signature platinum member. I'm just giving her an accent because why not? Oh, signature platinum member Mr. Guerrero requires a new card. Within 2 minutes, I get a new card, which is amazing. That's absolutely brilliant. But also, I needed to like take out some cash, and so I was like, okay, I would like to withdraw like $500. Woman opens up the drawer, hands me $500 in cash, and that's it. And I'm just like, okay, cool. That was easier than I thought. I start walking away because I have everything done. She's like, excuse me, Mr. Guerrero. I'm like, oh, what's up? She hands me a receipt. I look at the receipt. My account's still full. And I'm like, that's not good. She's like, try your card on the ATM machine. I'm like, okay. I walk over to the ATM machine, insert my card, check my account balance. My account balance still has the same amount of money. They haven't taken out anything. At this point, I'm like sort of kind of panicking, but also kind of happy. So I run to my car. I'm like, am I really about to get away with this? Did I just get money for free? Oh my God. I get into my car, I check my phone. I'm looking at my account balance there again, still full. And I'm like, huh, All right, I fucking make the tweet like the stupid idiot that I am. I did make a tweet about it. I made a tweet saying that I may have accidentally robbed a bank. My bank, which is technically a credit union, follows me on Twitter. Reason being, they asked me in the past to, they asked me in the past to be a part of a social media campaign for them and shit like that. Whatever. I'm assuming someone saw that tweet. By the time I got home 45 minutes later, my accounts were frozen. It's brilliant. I accidentally robbed the bank and I didn't get away with it. But yeah,
why
I did.
would you say anything?
Why did you tweet it?
This is why like police always go back to the first place of like the scene of the crime, because criminals always return to the scene of the crime. You literally just did that. You did the thing where you're like, you did the serial killer thing where you're like, officer, look at what I did. I want you to catch me. That's what you just chose to do.
He didn't return to the scene of the crime. He bought a billboard in town that said, "Hey, I robbed the bank." The picture of himself with a thumbs up.
Yeah, I know.
You're an idiot.
I know I am. I definitely am. But I think it's funny though.
Did you get it all worked out?
Yeah, it's sorted out now. My account is normal, and they took the money out. But like, yeah, that's the story of how I accidentally robbed the bank.
Somebody
unsuccessly
slipped the ski mask on you
bank.
and handed you the gun, and then you tripped and fell into the bank, and they just handed you money. Shit! You just walk out with the money like, oops.
I would be like the best bank robber though. Like I literally just walked in, asked nicely for the money, and they handed it to me. Like, that's just brilliant.
No, you're like the robber when SpongeBob's trying to rob a bank and he accidentally opens a checking account. Or no, Man Ray's doing it. Man Ray's trying to rob the bank and he accidentally gets the checking account with the checks with like puppies on it and something.
Yeah.
That's literally what you're no.
Okay, but like if you ever need to rob a bank, just let me know. All right, like I'd be good at it.
Honestly, I don't think I want.
No, you wouldn't.
No, because
tweet about it.
And then you decide to tweet all about it and be like, "Yo, by the way, we're at this like warehouse with all this money that we just like robbed," and like be taking pictures. That's what you'd be doing.
Geotagging the location, like.
Listen, all right. Sometimes you just have to update the social media posts, like update the
selfies,
gram. Got to update. Yeah, exactly. Got to take selfies with stacked cash.
God.
That'd be great.
Speaking of updates, because we haven't had one of these in a while, I have not pooped today, and it's a little worrisome.
Oh my God.
Like, because normally, like, I'm like a 1 to 2 pooper. Like, Steve, you pooped twice before we had the podcast. I checked. I made sure this man pooped.
You pooped twice?
I have not pooped today.
I only really pooped once. The second one was like a safety, go to the bathroom, see if anything else would come out. You know what I mean?
Fair.
Safety poop.
Yeah, it's a safety poop. It's, like when you're feeling like like I don't have to poop right this second, but any second I could have to poop really, really badly. Like it's that thing.
I don't think that's the thing that I've ever had to deal with.
It's like I knew a shit was coming. Yeah. I knew a shit was coming.
You don't have diarrhea, but you're like, any moment now, it's gonna feel like I have diarrhea.
Oh yeah, like you have the pain in your lower abdominals, and you're like, I'm
still
somewhere.
Feeling it. That happened to me when I was eating McDonald's.
It was funny that you say McDonald's. It happened to me when I was in high school. I had Pizza Hut, greasiest shit in the world, with my friends, and I ended up having to shit so badly. Like, so I went to like the bathroom at the Pizza Hut, and like I'm shitting my brains out, wanting to die, just in so much immense amounts of pain. So like, let me ask you guys something. Have you ever had those like shits that are really that bad that you're like you just gotta take off all your clothes? You're overheating because you were overheating and you need to shit.
Yes.
No.
Those are the worst. And I had that moment in the Pizza Hut bathroom, and I'm like definitely bare ass naked in that stall, being like, I'm dying slowly. And my friends, being the little shits they are, end up freaking they. Being the shits that they are, they freaking just are like knocking on this stall door every 5 seconds, like, you done? I'm like, they're like, we gotta go. I'm like, no, we fucking don't have to go. Like,
it's a Pizza Hut. What are they gonna do?
It's a fucking Pizza Hut. Where the fuck are we? Yeah, I'm like, where the fuck are we going? It's like 5 o'clock, dude. But yeah, that's the worst. When you have to like do the naked shit, that's the fucking worst.
For me, it's like I need to spread my legs more than like having pants around my ankles will let me. So I like kick them off because I'm like, I need to get so spread because I need to like. It's the same like constipation feeling also, like when you get down and it's like you're praying, you're like, please God, let something happen. I'm dying right now.
You're in like seated fetal position on the toilet, just being like, please get out of my body.
You guys
and, like,
need to see a doctor.
This is apparently I know a lot of people that have experienced this. Like, this is not that abnormal. But like, oh, it's the worst. Like, and when you have that last push and like your body, like you're all tight and tense, and then you start like untensing, you're like, I'm good, and you're just like pull on your pants, put all your stuff back on, and flush the toilet like normal, and you're like, life is normal.
I think we need to
like,
start putting
timestamps
in every episode just for like only the poop chapter of the episode,
so people know
so
what
people
to
can
skip.
like skip. Yeah, it's like everything. Nothing else is marked. It's just the poop section is like intro, poop section, rest of the podcast.
Sounds about right. Well, speaking of that, like, there's also something I really wanted to ask GB, but like, you guys are gonna get angry at me for this, but like, from now on, when we've guessed, we're gonna do this.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys stand or sit when you wipe?
Sit.
Definitely stand.
I stand. I also stand. I'm a stander when I wipe. I hate
wrong
sitting
with
down.
both of you?
Because I don't want to reach my hand down like through the toilet bowl. Like,
Yeah,
that's weird.
that
Like,
is
I
touching
touch
the
the
bowl.
butter or my poop.
If you're
the
gonna
hell? Like-
sit while you wipe, just get a bidet.
Yeah, literally. Just
I
like
wish
have
I
water
had
shoot
one.
up your ass.
Then order one. You can have
get
the
one.
attachable
Effort.
ones. They're not even that expensive.
You are so lazy.
When I move,
They
I
aren't
might.
that expensive. But yeah, no,
No.
Are you a crumpler or are you a folder?
A folder.
Depends. Folder. Mostly. Recently.
I am a folder as well.
Definitely folder.
Speaking of folding, there's a, I think it's a Quilted Northern, one of their ones. It's like ultra strong or something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, like this is a complaint. This is like a genuine complaint because we got it once and it was the most upsetting thing for about 3 weeks of my life because that was all the toilet paper we had. The perforation was curved, so you couldn't fold it.
What?
Like
What?
Normally it's, you fold your toilet paper. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. But the
So
perforation
take
had
the
a little
part
curve.
where you fold it. It was curved. It was like an
gotcha.
S.
I have seen toilet
So
paper
you
like
can't.
that.
Yeah, you can't.
That is actually
fold
really
it.
annoying. Yeah.
Right. It was the worst.
Yeah.
Few-
Yeah. No,
few
there
months
there
ago.
is
I
toilet
have
paper like
no
that.
idea what we're talking about.
So
what do you mean it was like curved?
So the part here that you can usually tear or whatever, instead of it being a straight line, it
where
was
you
like,
fold it.
Yeah. It's curved or whatever, so it can't fold normally.
Yeah.
Why? Who
So,
thought
like-
that was a good idea?
So like the
They
toilet
like
paper
putting
is doing
designs
this.
on the toilet paper sometimes, which is
So if you tried to
weird.
fold it, it
I
would,
do like wiping my ass with the Donald Trump toilet paper. That was pretty fun.
Anyway,
What?
speaking of people on Twitter, Donald Trump isn't on Twitter anymore. My point is, speaking of
Thank
people on
God.
Twitter, I actually got followed by a very interesting account recently, and I wanted to know if you guys have any interesting Twitter followers, because I got followed by he's no longer this guy, but he used to be the head chef at McDonald's.
Whoa, that's cool.
Oh, like the experimental chefs, like the people that are like in the special back, like when they're at the research, like the main hub of like McDonald's. They're like, we're gonna make this burger.
That's actually rad.
Yes,
That's really cool.
So McDonald's ex-head chef followed me on Twitter earlier
ex-head
today.
Chef, you need to retweet this episode so that he follows me because I love him. I love McDonald's. I love him.
Dude, I was like, so I don't know when the McChicken was invented. I'm assuming probably when he was working there. There's a chance that this.
I hope so.
I feel like the
McChicken's
McChickens
really good.
existed for like decades. I feel like that's not new. It's just a breaded chicken
Here's
sandwich.
the thing, I love how you can tell that chicken is either really cheap or beef is really expensive right now because every restaurant is advertising a new chicken sandwich. Like all of them are, look at our chicken sandwich. Like it started as like the Popeyes and some other restaurant. It was like a war. But then now we're a year later and it's just everybody's releasing one. So it's like, oh, they clearly want us to. It's like how the nacho fries only come around whenever potatoes are super cheap.
Yeah, but those are gross.
Those are
No, they're
absolutely
delicious.
gross.
Shut the fuck up, both of you.
Dude, I love Taco Bell. I enjoy my 3 in the morning
Nacho
shit as much
fries
as the next
are
person.
amazing.
Nacho fries are
No
fucking
one
really
on
gross.
planet
They're
Earth
delicious.
naturally loves Taco Bell, and I know my ex-girlfriend said that she liked Taco Bell, but there's a reason she's my ex. Just saying.
Taco Taco
Evan,
Bell's one of those things where it's not like McDonald's where like you can have it any time. You need to want Taco Bell. Like you need to specifically wake up and say, I want Taco Bell, and go to a Taco Bell because like
that's real.
I guess that's fair. That is fair.
Because I just there's never been a moment like that I just randomly was like, what choice do I want? It's like it has to be a Taco Bell day. And granted, I've eaten a lot of Taco. There was when I was in New York City, there was a Taco Bell by the TV station I worked at. And it got to the point that the people behind the counter knew my orders before I would when I would walk in, they would have it all rung up before I would even like do anything or say anything. They're like, "Oh, you want this? No," and like substitute this, and like they'd be super friendly, and I'm like, I need to go somewhere else.
Yeah, when you're a regular at a fast food joint, that's way more sad than being
regular
with
Jack in the Box.
I had to start going to the one in like the 80s, like in the 80s. I think it was 88th Street or something like that. I intentionally walked farther away just so they wouldn't know my order, and I would feel less awful about myself for having someone at Taco Bell knowing my order.
Yeah, no, I went to Jack in the Box so much in the past that like eventually the people at Jack in the Box knew exactly what I wanted as soon as I walked in there. Like the usual Evan, I'm like, yeah, and then I would just swipe my card, get my food, walk out.
I think
so bad.
I've never been to a Jack in the Box. That's a burger place, right?
Yes. It is.
Okay.
I recently tried Jack in the Box for the first time. It's pretty good.
No.
I had their chicken sandwich just today. And it was pretty good.
I would say that Jack in the Box is almost as bad as Taco Bell for me. Like, I do not think that Jack in the Box is that great. And maybe it's because I've had too much of it.
I don't know what the fuck's wrong with Evan. But
what do you mean? I am from California, which I know we have probably the most Jack in the Boxes,
that has nothing to do with Jack in the Box. But speaking of the emotion that Dickie was talking about, where like you have to be in that mood, and also kind of tangentially related to Taco Bell, that's always my argument in the nacho cheese versus Cool Ranch Doritos debate. I can eat Cool Ranch Doritos whenever. I don't care. I'll open up a bag. I'll eat them. But I have to be in the mood for nacho cheese Doritos. And that's why I think Cool Ranch is better.
I used to love the Cool Ranch ones.
I want that right now, and only that. And Cool Ranch is like...
I've never met someone that's like anti-nacho cheese. Like, Cool Ranch is like...
anti.
But like, you have to be... I've never met someone who's like, I gotta be in the mood. Like, when I think of Doritos, I think of like the nacho cheese ones. I never think of the Cool Ranch ones.
I think I only ever think of Cool Ranch, actually.
Am I the weirdo in this situation?
No, I think it's a genuine 50-50 split.
But like when you see the advertisements and everything like on TV, it's always like the red
both
bag.
now.
Like,
Well, yeah, but like most commercials, I think they do now are actually both because they're equally as popular. The red bag is iconic because that's what it started with.
Yeah.
But it was only nacho cheese flavored. But like, I think they advertise both equally in all their new stuff.
Do they?
Yeah, they'll like whenever the bags come up, it'll be like both, unless they're advertising specifically that flavor.
See, I was introduced to Doritos with the 3D Dorito, like back in like 1998 or something like that. But like, I know the back. Awful. But like that's how I was introduced to Doritos.
That's
so like
unfortunate.
when I think of Doritos, that's the way. That's usually the first thing that like pops into my mind. Therefore, like because they were nacho cheese flavors, like that's why I always think of nacho cheese. Like when I was little, I used to love Cool Ranch, or I thought I loved Cool Ranch. I don't know, but now it just like tastes really gross in my head. Like whenever I have it, I'm like, I don't like this. Granted, I'm not a huge like Doritos fan in general. I don't know why. Just like I get what you mean, Steve. Like I got to be in the mood specifically. I'm like I need to have some Doritos, like because I will never go to the grocery store and just like buy Doritos ever. Yeah. Like, I just don't.
I do fuck with Pringles though.
I think
I fuck with Pringles.
I think everyone fucks with Pringles, right? Like they're just
I know a lot of anti-Pringle people. I know a lot of people that do not like Pringles because they're like they prefer like because they're granted they are not real potato chips. Like they are potato flakes the same way like you've mashed potatoes are like potato flakes. So it's still made of potato, but it's like it's potato mush. It's like boiled together to be a chip, which is weird. Which I get. Like
somebody sent me a video of like. If you just add hot water to like a bowl of Pringles, you can make mashed potatoes of that flavor. Because it's not
that's what it is.
Like according to the FDA, they cannot classify it as a chip because it's not enough potato to be considered a potato chip.
That is interesting. Wow.
It is a potato snack.
Yeah. Crisp if you will.
Oh, potato crisp
Potato
taco.
crisp, yes.
But
Wow.
I swear that the original flavor of Pringles are way less salty than they used to be. I felt like they used to be way more salty, and now they're.
They definitely did. I feel.
Yeah.
Oh, they definitely are. They because they had the originals, and then they have like the less salted ones, and I think they transitioned like the less salted ones to be the main one, and they made the less salted ones just like unsalted completely.
Yeah. I mean, I would say it's just a unfortunate like side effect of like, you know, everything becoming. I mean, it's not unfortunate, but everything is becoming a lot healthier. Like in California, everything has to be gluten free, right?
Pringles are gluten free, right? Yeah, they are. They have to
I
be.
guess technically.
I guess.
I would think so.
Maybe
I know chips are
Californian
gluten-free.
Pringles are.
I don't know. I mean,
So
but
it
there's
should
nothing
be.
more iconic than that, like than the tube. It's like the M&M the M&M mini tube. Like, what makes M&M minis better than regular M&Ms? It's
Bro.
only the tube. Like they're not
Yeah.
better. They're the same thing. It's just like they're in this tube. I love this tube.
There's a lot to that. I mean, hell, there was a while. I wish I could still be obsessed with it and still buy it. Where I found out about boxed water, which was just water, but it was in like
we have that at
In a
work.
box. Yeah.
Yeah,
We have
it
boxed
fucking
water
blew
at
my
work.
mind. I was like, I swear to God, it tastes better. It's so much better.
No.
I so much so that for my birthday one year, my first year at college, my parents sent me a box of boxed water.
Oh,
It's a
gosh.
Case of boxed water.
Just a case of boxed water.
I love
Because it was
that.
so good.
I'm one of those people that drinks a lot of smart water though. I'm one of those people that like it's actually funny. I don't mind drinking Dasani. Apparently everyone hates Dasani.
No, I'm the same
I
way.
don't
I
mind
don't hate
drinking it.
Dasani. I think it's fine.
I don't understand why people hate it so much. But I'm also one of those weirdos that like I go out of my way to buy cases of smart water because I just like how smart water tastes. It just has a weird like crisper taste. I don't know. I hate water's weird. Water's weird where it's like water doesn't have a taste. The only way I can
you still
describe it
feel like it
is with
does.
like it
Yeah.
feels like it does, but also like it's weird because warm water, like I'm gonna tell you something, and you guys are gonna be like, either you're gonna agree with me or you think I'm a fucking psychopath. Probably both. Warm water tastes round. That is how I describe warm water. If you have like warm water, it just tastes round, and cold water tastes sharp and pointy.
It tastes like a sheet.
Yeah, it's so
But, like,
weird.
warm
That is
water
an
tastes
don't
interesting
understand
way to
why.
describe the taste of water for sure. But like, I think I agree with you that smart water is actually for me also like the best tasting water. Because like I can drink any water except for Arrowhead. I absolutely hate Arrowhead water. It's like the worst. Why do people like it?
I've never even heard of that.
Have you never heard of Arrowhead?
No.
Oh,
No.
wow. Okay, maybe something that's only here in the West Coast. I'm not sure. But, like, Arrowhead is just absolute ass. Okay? They say it's, like, natural or whatever. If that's what natural water tastes like, it's shit. It's just so bad.
Well,
Fiji
peanuts, I
water-
guess. Yo, I love Fiji water.
Fi-
My
no,
roommate used to
Fiji
make fun of me in
water
New York
tastes like
City.
a
I used to
cube.
get cases of Fiji all the time.
Dude, I
Fiji
will
water
pay the
tastes like a
$3
cube.
for
It
Fiji.
tastes like a cube. Fiji
I think I've
water
been
tastes
turned
like
off-
how the bottle looks.
Yeah,
it does.
I think I was.
I don't
turned
know
off
why,
of
but it's so
Fiji water,
satisfying. I love
when
Fiji water.
one time, like on a dare or something, I chugged a whole like. What's the bigger size of Fiji water? It's like a liter or
The quart?
something.
Oh, the liter.
Yeah, it's like a liter of Fiji water, and I chugged it all in one go, and then I had to ride home, and I felt so sick. And the moment I got home, I like sprinted to the bathroom, and because I was like, I'm dying. There's just too much inside of me.
Yeah, you can't have that much
There-
water.
Yeah,
That's
you
what causes
literally
people to
cannot
be-
hold that much water,
Yeah.
and so like it
No.
all was just like trying to come out. I was like, ugh.
I learned that the hard way as well when I did the milk gallon challenge. Like I
Yeah.
vomited my brains out because like your body. It's not that like it's too much. It's just that your body just can't have that much liquid. It's the same way like if you drink too much before like a run or something like that, you're gonna vomit during that run because there's just too much liquid in your body.
Actually, that makes
That's why
me
you
want
drink
to,
carbs.
like, that makes me want to do, like, a
Or eat carbs.
water
Drink carbs.
tier list. Water bottle.
Water.
Do we just want to turn this episode into a water tier list?
where are we putting Aquafina? Aquafina is I feel like the true neutral. It is
I'm
a
gonna
true
look up
neutral
water
for
tier
water.
list.
Why are you actually
Bottled
looking
water
it up?
tier list. Hold on. This is what the episode's going to become.
No.
Wait, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Audience,
7, 8,
audience
9,
in
10,
the in
11.
the comments, please tell us what your favorite bottle of water
Yeah.
is, and tell me why it's smart water.
Why are there a lot of bottled water
Why
tier
Dasani
lists?
is the second best tasting water ever? maybe third.
I don't know if it's the best tasting water. It's just neutral. Like I don't have an issue. I don't understand why
I don't
people
have
are
an issue
so
with it either.
anti-Dasani. So like it's so funny. I was at the grocery store and I guess one of the that week's shipment of bottled water was just like cut or something like that. So they didn't have anything. They fucking only had Dasani cases, and everyone's just like not. They're like, I guess we're not getting bottles of water this week. I'm like, guys, there's a case of Dasani right there. They're like,
most people's issue with Dasani is the fact that it is intended to make you thirstier.
Also, horribly evil company, but
There's Coca-Cola.
yeah,
Coca-Cola.
Yeah, Coca-Cola owns Dasani.
Wait, isn't Dasani Coca-Cola or Nestle?
Yeah, it is. It's Coca-Cola.
I'm pretty sure.
One of them is Nestle.
Aquafina is Nestle.
Yeah.
They're also a horrible, evil bunch of scumbags, but...
Speaking of being thirsty, I got a weird question for y'all. Because, Steve, I sent you to something today I'm very curious about. Let me ask you something.
So Life Water. Where are we putting Life Water?
Why did you send it to me?
Because I think we should talk about this.
I want to know. Why did you send it to me? What is this?
Evan, none of us, I want to have this quick conversation.
Okay.
None of us here are virgins, right? None of us here are virgins. Let me ask you something. What is the weirdest sexual experience that you've ever had? Like, place, thing, whatever it was. Like, what is it?
The weirdest?
Yeah, like, what, like, is there one sexual experience with, like, a girl that you will just never forget? You're like, why? Or, like, not even that, maybe you didn't even do it. Like, maybe they asked you to do this and you're just like, what? No, that's weird. Why?
Oh, so, like, something that they asked to do during the, okay. What is the weirdest thing that I've been asked to do? I mean, I guess the weirdest thing was she like had a strap on and then she wanted me to like, suck the thing on the strap on, and I was like, why the fuck would I ever do that?
No, that would have been based.
Like, why the
that would dude, that's fucking weird.
I am a straight man.
No, I
that
no,
doesn't mean shit,
I understand.
Howard.
I understand. No, Evan, I respect that. I understand that. Like, there's no, because like there's a thing, like if you get pegged, like there's an erogenous zone in your rectum. Some dudes like getting pegged,
It's
even if they're not
prostate.
gay.
You should also get your prostate checked regularly, guys.
You should.
You should. That's just a safety thing. You should do that.
That's just a safety thing. But like there's people that enjoy that. Like, but sucking it is weird to me. Just be like you're getting nothing out of it, especially if you don't like. Why would if you don't want to suck a dick to begin with, you're not getting anything out of that.
Exactly.
No. You may not get like
unless you have an oral
literal
fixation.
physical react. Well, I love to chew gum, but that's unrelated. What like you're both being aroused by it. Just because you're not necessarily feeling it doesn't mean that you're not getting something out of it that will then translate into later actions. There is no stimulation.
As a straight man, I don't think that I would ever be turned on by that.
Like, there's no stimulation for your genitals in kissing, so why kiss someone? Yeah, you can feel it in your mouth.
The strap on that I fucking... It's like sucking my fucking thumb, bro.
Yeah.
I had a girl that was into banana play. That was weird.
Banana?
Like, she wanted a banana in places, and I was very confused by that. Like, she said it was going to make her. She said it was going to make her cooch or peeled. She said it was going to make her cooch taste better. I'm like, I don't think it works like that. But like,
osmosis. The
like,
flavor.
well, that was the thing. Like, that was the weirdest thing. It's like, oh, by the way, like, my vagina's gonna fucking taste like a banana now. Like, I don't think it works like that. Like, it was between that. Like, it wasn't even that she wanted in her cooter. She wanted it like in her butt too. I'm like, this is the weirdest. Like, I was like, we're. I'm never saying you again. You're fucking crazy.
Weird.
Like, that's
Never
weird to me.
getting
Like,
sponsored.
I can see. Well, no, and listen. All right, we talk
That's
about
weird though,
shit
right?
enough on this podcast. Okay. Literal shit.
Yeah, we already weren't getting sponsored. This is just
you can't say that
Steve, if Stiff Sock can get sponsored, we can get sponsored.
No, first of all, you can't say that we will never get sponsored. Have you seen my Twitch streams and still sponsors come to me?
That's fair. That's fair. The one podcast I listen to...
We'll get sponsored by
also
Manscaped.
Hell
Anything.
yeah. Honest to God, Manscaped, not sponsored yet. Manscaped, I love your product, and I will shill it on this podcast. Freely and openly. You have an amazing product.
But I would like to get paid
But
to
I will
shill
also
it
say
freely and
nobody
openly.
should buy it until you sponsor us. Once you sponsor us, everyone should buy it.
Steven, Steph, have you had any weird
I
experiences?
refuse to answer this question.
How are you refusing to answer this one?
We both
on the
answered.
virtue,
It's
We
only
both
on the
fair.
did.
virtue of I know what Dickie's what the end of this conversation is. I saw what it is, and I refuse to answer because I don't want what's gonna
Steve,
come next.
Come on, Steve.
Steve, you gotta be a team player.
The people want.
Steve, are you
Steve.
gonna be a coward? Are you gonna be the coward this episode?
I mean,
Guys,
I
if
honestly,
Steve does not tell us by the end of this episode, in the comments down below, write Steve is a coward.
I
Please
honestly
do.
don't think I've done anything that weird.
You can say that. No, I would completely respect that. But
Yeah.
you have to
Like-
at least tell me the truth and be like, no, there's nothing that happened. Versus,
I've done,
I'm not going to
like-
answer this.
I mean, you don't have
In
to
the
have done it.
forest
Just
one, like that's. There's nothing that exciting.
okay, I guess that's fair.
Yeah, it's like
Do you want me to make you something exciting, Steve?
no.
I really want to know where this is
I
going.
pray to God that Dickie is too busy this week so I can cut this out.
I'm curious.
I'm going to make sure I'm
curious.
not too busy this week just for
Please.
you.
You, Evan,
Please.
you are not ready.
The people want this right now. Okay, what is
They
it? What
do. They're asking.
So what is it, Dickie? Where was this conversation
what?
going?
Oh, dude, I had no idea.
Well, clearly, Steve is afraid of something.
Evan, let me tell you.
You're gonna say.
Evan, let me tell you something.
Uh-huh.
I had 3 onions, 4
Okay.
rubber chicken, a plunger, and at least like a jar of mayonnaise, and we both know where this is going to go.
No, we don't. No, we definitely don't. What?
I was pretty clear. I was pretty obvious. And like, actually, in you know what's not clear and obvious? Fucking, let me ask you something. Fucking Spirit Airlines. Spirit and fucking Frontier Airlines. There's like
no,
cheap budget
Dickie.
airlines.
You're not going to make us go through that whole thing and not
You're gonna go
explain
through
to
this.
Evan where this started. If you do all of this, you have to share the curse knowledge now. I've changed my mind. You have to tell Evan what this is.
Anyways,
I'm just
so Spirit
confused.
Airlines.
No. Tell me what happened.
Fine, we're gonna go in the fucking. I'm gonna take Steven's virginity in the Mile High Club
No.
with the rubber chicken
No,
Dickie,
and some mayonnaise.
tell the story.
just tell me.
I got no fucking story. What story? I don't have
It is
anything.
lit-
What
you
do
said started
tell
with
me?
what you sent me today.
I need to know.
This started with what you sent me today. That's how you started this.
That's how this whole segue started. I need to know.
The only reason I decided to say this is so my favorite podcast is Stiff Sock, Trevor Wallace's podcast, and like they have the weirdest sexual things that they talk about, like the weirdest thing. I'm pretty sure the mermaid thing was like slightly from them too. They definitely talked about that, touched on that. I fucking love hearing it. So like they were having like a live podcast and they were talking about like how this one dude had his girlfriend asked him to like take a hit out of her cooter, like just a blunt hit out of her cooter, which is fucking hilarious to me. So like you're pretty much using like, and I'm very confused how it was. Like, was he just taking like the blunt from her cooter, or was like he using the cooter as like he's like sucking in from like the cooter? That's what I want to know. That's what they were talking about. Like, what does it taste like fucking cooter flavor? I don't know. Like, that's why I want to know what the science was, because like weed science is fucking fascinating to me. Like the thing that potheads will come up with to get high is just the coolest, craziest, weirdest stuff to me. But like you're pretty much you're gonna use your girlfriend's vagina as a fucking like bong. Like that's fucking weird. But that's why I asked about that.
Now do you see why I wanted to cut this, Evan?
No.
All right. So about the Mile High Club, I would never do it on an airplane because that just seems very unsafe. Also, airplane bathrooms are very tiny.
Yeah, it's more intimate though. It's more intimate.
Yeah, but like everyone can hear you. Literally everyone.
Yeah, I don't care.
You can go to jail for a very long time.
That is
Can
true.
you?
Yes, you
I
can.
mean, it's like public indecency.
I mean, public indecency is like half the fucking time when we're all together. I'm surprised we didn't get arrested for public indecency half the time we were at Otakon.
What?
I didn't do anything.
I didn't do anything. What?
I screamed a lot of things. We
You
screamed
could
a
have
lot.
gone to jail.
Do not say we.
Yeah, like definitely
I
don't.
screwed
think
We
you.
so.
we as a whole entire group,
No.
specifically
No.
Steven, Evan, and
No.
Ian, said a lot of weird things.
No.
Heard a lot of weird things between you guys. But no, you know, like going back to the Mile High Club, fucking, I hate flying Spirit and Frontier, and I will never fly with any of them ever fucking again, because they nickel and dime you for all that shit that, like, you end up literally, like, spending as much if you flew with someone else that you would
with anyone
if you,
else.
flew with
Yeah.
them. Like, it's insane to me. Like, the one and only time I ever flew Frontier, I spent more than I would have if I just flew with American, because, like, I thought I was saving money. I thought I was being, like, smart and thrifty. No. Fuck those airlines to begin with, because, like, you have a fucking, like, canvas seat. Like, it's like just a bar and like a literally thin, like, nylon seat, and it's like, here's your fucking seat. Good luck if you, if you die, you die.
It really does depend, actually, because I've had flights with Spirit where the carry-on was included in the price. Like when I went to Dallas the first time that I went back in February of this year, the flight was $50. And that included, like, the seat and, like, a carry-on bag, which is all I needed or whatever. And then this time, when I went, the flight was, again, $50. And it didn't include a carry-on bag, which I thought it was weird. But, like, I paid, like, an extra $30 for it. I was like, that's fine. So, yeah.
But, like, you got to know that stuff, like, ahead of time. You have to know that shit ahead of time. Because, like, if you don't know it ahead of time, like, it's, like, $40 or $50. It's, like, $50 or $60. I think I paid, like, $55 for my carry-on. With Frontier when I was in North Carolina flying back to Pennsylvania, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I had two bags, so I'm like, I have to fucking pay like $110 for my bags. This is ridiculous.
That definitely is very scummy. Yeah, you should have just flown with someone else where that price is already included. Yeah.
God, I was so annoyed with that.
2 free check bags.
Now I just fly American,
and you get to pick your seat. It's not assigned seating.
I mean, most places
Southwest is great. Seat. Well, no, like,
what place doesn't
you get there and you get on the plane and you just pick whatever.
Oh, like, it's just a free seat.
Oh,
yeah. So when you check in, you get a number and they just board in that order and you just take whatever seat you want that's open.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
So if you don't care and you want an
like
aisle seat in the back, then you can go all the way to the back.
That I don't like.
Would you want to sit in the back?
Yeah, that I don't like, because I prefer paying for a seat that I really really want. Right,
you can pay to be earlier if you want, but yeah, just 24 hours before you check in and you get a number. I've never been too low that I haven't gotten an aisle seat.
I don't know. For me, it depends on, like, how I'm feeling and, like, where I'm going. Right, like, so if I'm, like, for instance, visiting friends, I don't really care about my friends that much. No offense. So I'll just, like, pick a seat at the back of the plane, because, like, I don't care to get off quickly. If I'm going to see my girlfriend, obviously I care about her. I'm going to pick a seat at the front of the plane because I want to get off the plane quickly. He picks the very
last seat because he's like, he's got to wait. He's just like, whatever. I guess I'm here. You drove to visit her more times than you've flown to her, though?
Yeah. Yes. Now I have actually drove more than I've flown to see her. So, yes. Yeah, it's an 11-hour drive. It's fine, though. I have GFuel. Not sponsored on the podcast.
I have GFuel. I've never actually had GFuel. I'm not going to lie to you. So, like, I have taken many pre-workouts and everything. I've done smelling salts to get that extra kick. Like, athlete, that's just an athlete thing, I think. Like, you just want whatever it takes to get the upper edge. And I've never done GFuel. I've had 12 people be like, try this. I'm like, is it a pre-workout? They're like, no, it's just caffeine drink. I'm like, I don't want that. The only time I'll ever have caffeine is if, like, I have, like, to go on a run or, like, have soccer or something. Like, that's when I have caffeine. But, like, I am not a coffee person. I'm not, like, a Red Bull person. Like, weird. Like, explain the basis of GFuel to me. Like, what is
I don't get it. And
we're not sponsored on the podcast, so I refuse to talk about GFuel on the podcast.
Okay,
until they sponsor the podcast.
I'll talk about GFuel. I don't know what it is. Curious. I'll just make up a bunch of stuff about GFuel.
Well, since we're not sponsored, we can be blatantly honest. So, like, if it's good or bad, Steve, you can tell me.
So I don't know. I have an addiction to caffeine. I love Red Bull very much, but, like, it's to the point where when I drink a Red Bull or any energy drink, I am awake until the moment that can is empty, and then I am immediately crashing. That is how exhausted I always am, and how much caffeine I have to have in my life. It's not healthy, I know, but
it definitely doesn't sound healthy at all.
I said that I liked Red Bull one time, and like I had one of the GFuel, not apologist, GFuel, one of our friends who loves GFuel, fanatic, because all of our friends are obsessed with GFuel. And he was like, it's the healthiest thing you could drink. And I was like, no, I'm pretty sure that's water. I'm pretty sure Diet Coke's
Yo,
something
bro.
for me. That has literally 0 calories.
Yo, man, I put my GFuel in my prune juice and I'm just ready to go. I get the shits and the fucking energy.
Right.
Fuck no, dude. Yo, just dry scoop some GFuel. You get some crazy ass.
Oh god.
Just get the crackhead energy.
Speaking of other things that I love to drink aside from G Fuel, so like my mom, she has this like weird like coffee thing that she likes. It's called like what was it? It's like mocha flavored like Dunkin' Donut like Keurig cups or whatever. Those are absolutely the worst. Literally the worst. I know I mentioned it briefly last time, but I had one
like
again.
Keurig cups are like that specific kind.
Little mini Keurig cups, right? Maybe I mentioned. I'm not sure if I did mention.
I don't
it on
think
the podcast.
you did. I don't know what
well,
you're
all
talking
right.
I did not know you were so anti-Keurig.
No. I have a Keurig. I love the Keurig cups. I just hate the mocha latte donut shop flavor. It is the worst. It's absolutely disgusting. Okay,
Well,
it's
all
like
coffee is
today.
bad. So.
Well, no, because it says like you just have to put it in, and it's one step. It says you don't need cream or anything like that. No, that thing needs creamer. It's awful. It tastes like someone attempted to make coffee out of milk. Does that make sense?
Well, all coffee is bad. So.
How dare you?
Hot take. I fucking hate coffee too. Coffee tastes like fucking taste.
I hate coffee.
I've tried it so many times
with you guys.
I hate coffee and I hate tea.
I love the smell
live
of
my life without coffee.
No, I love the smell of coffee more than anything. I just fucking hate the taste. Like I've tried so many times to like it, and I just can't. It tastes so. It just tastes like taint. Like when I was a bartender in New York City, like one of the people who do the dishes, they clean it, clear the tables.
Dishwashers?
No,
Busboy.
they clear the tables. Busboys. The busboy literally like would always try to get me to drink coffee, and like because he could tell when I was falling asleep, and he like made it for me all these times. It's like it got to the point where like this coffee looked like it was just like pure white, like it was just so much cream and sugar, and I'm like, this tastes like taint. It tastes so bad to me. I just coffee flavor anything just has this weird like it tastes good in the beginning for me, and then it just tastes like taint afterwards. It has this weird bitter aftertaste, and I fucking hate it. And I don't know why. I've tried so much, and like that's not the only thing. Like Coca-Cola, I hate soda. I love the smell of it because it smells sugary. Soda. I hate the taste of all sodas. I've never had a soda I enjoy.
Non-diet sodas, except like Sprite. Sprite's the only inoffensive one. But like, if the soda isn't diet, because that's all I've had all my life, like it genuinely like upsets my stomach. Like, I feel sick trying to drink it because like it upsets my stomach because all the actual sugar and shit that's in that is miserable. It just
like ruins your day. That makes sense.
It makes me really feel awful.
For me, I'm like okay with most sodas. The one soda that my body will absolutely always reject is Dr. Pepper, which is unfortunate because I fell in love with Dr. Pepper, at least the idea of wanting to drink it after watching Steins Gate.
Wow.
What?
Drink Diet Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, maybe I'll try it. Yeah.
Diet Pepper,
Dr.
Pepper just smells like weird cinnamon to me. It just smells weird.
Yeah.
It's like cherry is the main ingredient, I think.
Is it?
I think
it's called Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, but like it's some
Dr.
weird
Cherry.
That reminded me. Speaking of secret formulas, do you guys know who the KFC Twitter account follows?
Do they follow you?
No, I wish. Fazoli's does. Shout out to my Midwest fam. Shout out to Fazoli's.
Oh shit! This was all a tangent, actually, just because to get us back on the the weirdest thing. Who do you follow?
You on Twitter?
Holy shit! Just realized that. We just got back to this.
But no, KFC follows the 7 Spice Girls and 5 guys named Herb because it's the 11 herbs and spices.
Oh, I did know that. I love that so much. God, I wish KFC followed me. I wish Wendy's followed me.
6 Spice Girls and 5 guys named Herb.
I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that, but I love how genius that is.
It's so good.
It's so great. That's so great. I love that so much.
Amazing. I think the weirdest person who follows me, though, is Evanito.
I'm 100% sure it's Evanito as well for me. Well, because I don't use Twitter. I got a Twitter like 2 weeks before I met Evan.
Who's the weirdest person that follows you, I guess, on like your biggest social media platform?
On Instagram. Who was?
Let me see who's
I don't know if the
publicly
weirdest, but
subbed on
Andrew
YouTube.
WK. Andrew WK is probably the
What?
most out there. Yeah, Andrew WK follows me on Instagram.
Does he follow like? Is he one of those people who follows everybody? Because I like.
No,
omitted
he
those
follows
people.
he follows a bunch of people, but like he doesn't follow everyone. Like I think he's like 20,000 followers or something, and then or 25,000 or whatever it is, and then he follows like 5,000 or 6,000.
Oh,
So,
that's
like-
yeah, that's not that bad.
That's
Wow.
not
'Cause-
that like no, it's like he has liked and he's liked my things too. It's not as though
That's
it's like
awesome.
he just followed me. It's that he's
Fucking
physically liked
rad.
like a video that I had or a video and a picture I had once. I'm like, oh, he's
That
real.
That
'Cause,
is
like,
actually
yeah.
amazing. Wow.
'Cause
I love
didn't
Andrew.
count,
I've seen him
like,
so many times in show though too. I love that dude so much.
Hideaki Itsuno, the director of Devil May Cry, he follows me, but he follows like 86,000 people or something.
Oh.
that doesn't-
26,000. 26,000 following 38K followers.
Do you just have a problem? Does he just follow everyone that likes the stuff that he's?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Says like one
Like,
nice
a lot
Devil
of
May Cry
developers
is
do that.
Devil May Cry is not awful. Follow.
You're right.
I just want to make that tweet now. Just get
Devil
the
May
follow.
Cry is not all.
No,
like-
for me, another weird person that follows me, which is someone that definitely follows like everyone. The voice of Siri.
Dog VA.
The voice
What?
of
Yeah,
Siri follows you?
The voice,
The
of
voice
Siri
of
follows you?
Siri
Weird.
follows me.
Yo, that's actually so cool.
That's actually- yeah, that's
chaotic.
awesome.
I love that. They're not like allowed to like do any. Don't they have like a crazy contract, like a non-compete clause that like they can't do voiceover work or anything else for like anyone? Like they can't be recorded doing anything. Isn't it like a thing?
I don't know. I mean, I would assume that maybe like she can do like regular voice acting roles where she doesn't try to sound like Siri, but like it's unfortunate because I believe that's just her voice.
I mean, I feel like there's certain voice actors like you're pigeonholed, like you can't do any other thing because like that is what you hear them as. Like freaking the voice actress who does Ash Ketchum, like I've heard her in other things. I'm like, that's just Ash Ketchum. I
It's just
literally
Ash,
just
yeah.
hear Ash
Yeah.
Ketchum.
No,
You
it's
can't tell me it's anyone else. But there's like real actors like that in life too. That like you know them as this, and they will never not be like, they would never not be this. Like when I
Morgan Freeman.
think of like Morgan Freeman's just God,
He's just God.
Yeah.
and he plays
anything
God
he's
in the
in,
Lego
he's
movie
just
just to
God.
prove it. Morgan Freeman just has that voice. He just has a really like, but like I'm trying to think like just especially television actors like. Whenever I think of Scrubs, I can't. Zach Braff, like Zach Braff's done a bunch of things. When I think of Zach Braff, I will only think of Scrubs. The same way, like the guy who plays Ted Mosby in How I Met Your Mother, I will only think of them in that. Like,
Yeah,
half the
that's
people
fair.
half the people in Friends, pretty much everyone in Friends outside of Jennifer Aniston.
I
they're
will
just
only
friends.
ever think of them as the friends.
I
of
will
friends,
only
yeah.
ever think of Zachary Levi as Chuck, even though he's a superhero now. Cause yeah, Chuck was. I don't know if it was good. I watched it a lot as a kid. I liked it as a kid. I don't remember if that show was good. It lasted a while, so that's got to be worth something.
It's just
As-
sad that, like that's how you like pigeonhole people. Like it's like even Daniel Radcliffe. Like Daniel Radcliffe's been in a million 12 things, but like
I only think of him
I
as Harry
still
Potter.
I can only think of him as Harry Potter, and like
That's fair.
I've seen the Swiss Army Man. Like I've seen things he's been in. Like he's a good actor, but he's Harry Potter. Like I'm sorry, that's
I'm
just
the
how it is.
opposite. I think Daniel Radcliffe, and I can only think of him as. I've been playing with this pen this whole time. I like playing with things.
Yeah, you do.
In the last episode, if you look really closely, there's like one brief moment where you can see that I'm holding a fidget spinner for like 2 seconds, and then it comes back out of frame.
I might
Daniel Radcliffe, that's where I started.
that time.
Yeah, Daniel Radcliffe.
Daniel
Uh-huh.
Radcliffe.
Come on, we got
I
this.
only
Good
think
job.
of him. I now mainly think of him as doing weird stuff to not be Harry Potter. Like I think of
Yeah.
his weird
Fair.
stuff first now because I respect that more than Harry Potter. Even though I saw the Harry Potter movies, like I just didn't care that much. So when I was like, oh, and now Robert Pattinson, I'm like, yeah, he was in Twilight. But he's done some weird shit afterwards because he
Batman
didn't
now.
want to be the guy from Twilight anymore. He's
Oh,
Batman.
he
Like that's
was
awesome.
He was wow, why is he crap? I can't remember if it is actually him. Is he the guy in Tenet? The other guy? Is Robert Pattinson in Tenet, or am I misremembering this right
I
now?
think it's a dude who just looks like him. I'm gonna look.
I think
it up.
someone else.
We have the power of the internet. Robert Pattinson. He is in.
He is in Tenet. I am not wrong.
Oh, it is. Yeah. He's
Yeah.
in that.
I'm proud of
and
you.
he's
You got it
in,
right.
Yeah.
The Lighthouse. Yeah, he's just been doing cooler stuff.
I thought he was
after.
really good in Tenet. I did not like him in Twilight at all, but he's really good in Tenet. I thought he was okay in Harry Potter, which he
Well,
was in
he
Harry
hated-
Oh
Potter.
yeah,
He hated
Cedric Diggory. I
Cedric
forgot
Diggory,
that.
Yep.
doing Twilight. He was miserable. The reason that he and what's her name?
Kristen Stewart.
Yeah,
Kristen Stewart.
yeah.
They actually dated, and the only reason was because they were both so miserable filming those movies. That was the only thing they had in common. There's a great story about Robert Pattinson where he had a stalker-esque fan, this girl who showed up to his apartment, and instead of getting a restraining order or doing what one should do, he instead
sleep with her? I hope he
agrees.
slept with
No,
her.
he agrees to take her on a date. But he spent the whole time just complaining about how miserable he was filming the Twilight movie that they were doing because he couldn't talk to anybody else about it. And apparently
funny.
he was so miserable, it was so sad that she never came back. She left him alone after that because he was just honest. He just took her on a date and was just like, this is awful. I'm so miserable. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing.
Poor Cedric Diggory. He's living his best life.
He is now. He's Batman.
Steven, you're a nerd.
I am.
Are you guys? I think Evan, you might have seen this too. Because I don't get this. I don't get why everyone's so excited. I saw Sora was announced for Super Smash Bros.
What do you mean
And,
you don't understand why everyone is excited?
I wanted to avoid this.
Let me just because this is gonna date the episode, but it's fine. I'm willing to do this.
It happened today.
I saw
actually.
so many reaction videos on Twitter and everything of people crying and getting way over emotional, and it made me realize, because I'm like, you're all fucking weirdos. This is a video game, and it made me realize what it must be from the outside perspective for me as a sports fan, when all of you who don't like sports see us getting emotional, and you're like, it's just sports, dude.
You're like,
I
Cristiano
understand.
Ronaldo did
I
a thing with the ball that he
understand it now.
kicks.
This is
I
getting
finally get
into
it.
Smash is like getting into the Hall of Fame of video games. That is what Smash is at this point.
Yes,
You are in the Hall of Fame as one of the most important characters of all time.
because
I don't know. I guess I just stopped caring after Melee because it just felt like,
I
or even
I
after
think-
Brawl, it just felt like all these non-Nintendo characters got in there, and I'm like, this doesn't
Well,
feel like a
that's the
Nintendo
whole
game
point,
anymore.
right?
Well, that's why it's the Hall of Fame now. It's like if you get in and you're not a Nintendo character, that means you are really important to the history.
I believe
of
it
video
might
games.
be the biggest collaboration in gaming history, because they have 450 different games that are included in Smash. 450. That's insane. If you think about it, Fortnite has maybe 15 to 20 different franchises. Kingdom Hearts has 3. Smash has 450. That takes a lot of work and a lot of time. And I think that's why people are really excited when their favorite characters get into Smash, because that's not an easy feat. Your game has to be recognized, a game like freaking Minecraft, world renowned, that it got
best-selling
Steve
video
into
game of all time.
Yeah, it got Steve into
I'm in the
to
video
Smash.
game. Steve, I'm in the video.
Yeah.
Even though they're only me costumes, and I am disappointed about that because I would have liked them. I would have liked them for real. What was I even talking about? Oh, even though they're only me costumes, I still popped off when I saw Travis Touchdown, Dante, and the Doomslayer today.
Yeah,
I saw the
guy.
Doomslayer. I heard Rip and Tear kick in, and I saw the Doomslayer, and I popped off. I was like, I don't give a shit. That's awesome. I am listening to Rip and Tear in an official Nintendo presentation. That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, is that
And,
when that dude from Undertale?
Sans.
Sans got in. It wasn't even Sans as a player. It was just the
Yeah, it was
skin
just
for Sans.
immediate.
It
Yeah,
was-
but
it was just a costume.
that,
Everyone was
that
like-
alone was
But
huge
it's-
because it's your indie game is so important that you got into Smash
that you
Brothers.
got into Smash. It's like I feel like as a developer, it's probably like receiving a trophy, right? You made a game so cool that Nintendo wanted you to be a part of Smash.
Yo,
And let's be
Castle
honest,
Crashers and Smash when?
Never, unfortunately.
Never. This was the last.
That was
character
the last
today.
character. Yep. So
Like
yeah,
official-
so
And now
Like,
he's
there's
gonna
no
go
more
make
characters?
Kid Icarus Uprising 2. Sakurai, please,
Wait,
God,
so
go make Kid
Waluigi, is
Icarus
Waluigi
Uprising
still
2.
not in this game? Is
He's-
Waluigi
no.
He's an
still
assist
not a
trophy.
player?
He's an
Yeah,
assist trophy.
So he is there.
So he's
but yeah,
still
he's-
not a
there.
character you can play.
It's
as.
like
That's fucking
it's
hilarious
this.
to
So
me.
Sans getting a Mii costume and like Shovel Knight being an assist trophy was also really big. Where it was like, there was no way Shovel Knight was gonna be a playable character because it's just this small indie game.
yeah.
But the fact that it got in at all is really, really impressive.
Yeah, and I think that Sora being the last character is kind of poetic in a sense, considering the fact that like Kingdom Hearts was a game that just back in the day just was weird to everyone because they're like, what, Disney characters with Final Fantasy characters? That's pretty strange, you know? And like Smash prides itself in just having all these different franchises. So I think this ending with another franchise that sort of did the same thing but to a smaller scale, it's pretty cool.
Is Kingdom Hearts on the Switch?
Now it is
They're
actually.
coming. Yeah.
As
Why?
of today, it is coming to the Switch.
Why is everything that's not the third game? Like, I can understand the third game being the cloud version. I don't understand why
Yeah.
the other two are the cloud version. That just feels stupid. 'Cause, like,
Yeah, the other two
those
probably
games are,
could just
those
run on
games
the
are
Switch.
like, what, 15
Yeah.
years old at this point? That just feels ridiculous.
No, they definitely could run on
Yeah.
the Switch, but like I guess they just didn't want to like actually
didn't want to
like.
bother. Dream Drop Distance was a 3DS exclusive. I hate Kingdom Hearts. Why do I know this? Chain of Memories is.
The thing
I
about
say I hate
Kingdom
it. I've never
Hearts-
played it. I don't care. What I
I've
mean is
never-
I don't give a shit about Kingdom Hearts. Chain of Memories is
He
either
still goes on. Dickie, please. What were you gonna
Game
say?
Boy Advance.
Yeah, I was gonna
or
say I couldn't
DS.
care. I'm muting. Steve's getting muted at this point. I have a question. Like, see, not even a question. Like, Kingdom Hearts is the exact reason. Like, I feel like when companies are like, we can't make a game. It's been too long since we've had the sequel. I feel like Kingdom Hearts 3 is the exact like reason where it's like, you can still make a sequel even though it's been like 12 years since your last game. Because like, yo man, I'm still fucking waiting for Half-Life 3 or Half-Life Episode 3. I still need my next Half-Life.
Valve
And
would probably
everyone-
make an insane amount of money if they
Valve
just
would
dropped
make-
Half-Life
they-
3. Like,
That's why. Well, that's the other thing. Like, I don't. And Half-Life Alyx was a success. Like, it didn't sell amazingly because it was VR only.
Yeah,
But like, the reviews are still great. Like, if they released that for like regular PC or console, like off the rip, I feel like it would have done great and it would have opened the door back up for like Half-Life to return. And like on the flip, I understand because like things like Duke Nukem Forever, Good God, or 3D or whatever it was. The last Duke Nukem that came out was fucking off. That was the first game I ever saw in history to go down to $20 within the first week of it coming out. Like, holy shit. I
Wow.
remember going to GameStop because my friend bought it for my other friend for their birthday, full price. Within days, it was $20. And I'm like, eh? 'Cause that game was terrible.
well-
That game was terrible.
Kingdom Hearts games were coming out. It just wasn't 3. It's like if there was still a Half-Life Alyx, but every 2 years or something. Like, there were still games coming out.
Oh, were there? So
yeah,
there was still like
there was 2, and then there were like a bunch of other spin-offs or side stories or stuff like that was
they
still
did still have
coming out.
releases.
It just didn't. 3 was just way.
Oh yeah,
I
it was
have,
like
like,
some came out for like the PSPs or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't there, like,
Yeah,
2
you
or
can
3, like,
only get
PSP
them
games?
on like the 3DS or like the other like handheld consoles. And I was like, why do you keep making Kingdom Hearts games for handhelds? No one's gonna play those there. I mean,
It's
people
like
actually
how
did,
there's
obviously. so.
mainline Final Fantasies, but then there's like sequels to those specific mainline Final Fantasies. It's like, oh yeah, you want to go play the sequels to Final Fantasy VII? Go buy a PSP, jackass. Like,
Yep, pretty much.
I feel like whenever games do that, it's just the biggest middle finger in the world. Because didn't that happen with the one game I always remember it specifically happening was like Battlefront 3. Like Star Wars Battlefront 2 came out for the original Xbox and PlayStation 2. It was a fucking hit. Everyone loved it. They were midway through completion of Battlefront 3, and then they're like, you know what? Never mind. We're gonna make like Battlefront 3 like Renegade Squadron or some shit like that, and throw it on the PSP. There you go. That's your next version. And we're like,
hell
Right.
yeah. I love the
Because, like,
PSP.
yo, I had
hate
a
it.
I had a
I love
PSP
it.
too, and I played the shit out of fucking man. I played the shit out of Star Wars Battlefront 2 on that PSP. Oh my god, the amount of time! Like, I think I probably put more hours into that game than anything else. And you know me, I love
Yeah.
FIFA and NHL and all those sports games, but like the game I put the most effort into was Battlefront 2. Although if Skyrim came out for it, I would have played Skyrim to death. I just realized I've bought Skyrim like 3 times. And like, because I saw a meme today, it was like, what point is buying Skyrim too much? And I'm like, I guess it would be the fourth time. The fourth time would be too much. And then, like, I know for a fact if I ever got a Switch or something else like that, I'd
gonna get it
literally
again.
still.
You're just
I'd
gonna get
still buy
Skyrim again, yeah.
I bought
makes
Skyrim
sense.
so many. Like, I put the virtual machine and boot camp and everything on my Mac specifically so I could play Skyrim on my PC. On a PC.
That was me with Grand Theft Auto. I got Grand Theft Auto on the PS3, and I bought it again on the PS5. I got Grand Theft Auto 5 on the PS3, got it again on the PS4, bought it on PC, and was thinking recently of buying it on the PS5. And I was like, I have a problem.
I have Skyrim for the Xbox 360, the Xbox One HD all special version, or like high D, whatever it is, the version. And I have on the PC. And like, yo, if it comes out for the fucking toaster, you know I'm gonna get it. Fucking Skyrim's gonna, like, I swear to God, even when they make the next Elder Scroll game, they're still gonna release like one more Skyrim just for the heck of it.
Oh, no,
but this one has fishing in it.
Mine
Fuck,
is
I
Shovel
can
Knight.
camp now?
I own Shovel Knight on Wii U, 3DS, and Switch. Because, like,
play
each
Shovel
time
Knight.
they released a new campaign, and I didn't have whatever console it was with me, or like, so I just bought it again to play the new campaign. And by this logic, at this point, I still haven't beaten King of Cards on my Switch, so eventually I'll probably end up buying it on PC so I can play King of Cards on my PC. Just because, why not? There's 4 games. They deserve 4 times the money for it. Shovel Knight is that good. Go buy it.
Hey man, if I can buy a new NHL, a new FIFA every single year, you can buy as many versions of the same game as you want if there's slight tweaks.
That-
That's
yeah.
the thing. It's like
if there's
it
slight
is 4
tweaks,
different
it
games.
makes it fine.
Like, it's not even slight tweaks. Like, they're totally different levels.
Yo, okay, no. Games like sports games don't make sense to me as to why they need a new version every single year. You could just release updates.
You say that, like, you say that, Dickie. People literally go in and they're like, "Oh, in 2021, you can still see the banners in the background that say FIFA 20."
Oh yeah, that was my favorite. Well, there was no. They made that. They allowed if you already had FIFA 20, you could just like buy like a $20 or $30 like roster update with like new skins, new completely new rosters, new jerseys, all that stuff, and it was like a $20 like update or something like that. So like
This
they
was
did
people
it
who
that
bought the
awesome.
full game. They bought 2021, like
Oh,
the
I bought
actual
20.
game.
Well, no,
and the
if you
banner
didn't- if
like
you
still
didn't-
said 20.
If you didn't have FIFA 20 yet, makes sense. Like for example, I didn't have FIFA 20. I skipped FIFA 20 for some weird reason. I had 18, 19, like I had 2012 through like 19. I skipped 20 for some reason, so I bought 21. And I remember like when I was like all the reviews are like, if you have 20, don't buy this. But if you don't have it, sure, it's FIFA. You'll love it. I'm like, that makes sense.
I mean, I guess
This year's NHL is different. Though. This year's they put the whole entire they put the new.
It's different. They're reskinning things, guys.
No, they did the new mechanic. So EA I guess had their old NHL mechanic they had since like 2014, just running until 2021. They're putting in the same mechanics, like the whatever physics and mechanics are in like FIFA and all the other like sports games that and Madden. They're finally bringing it over because like NHL has always been it's the worst selling game. And it's like the one that no one like they just don't care about. So like they never really updated it or fixed it for like I swear to God like 5 years. But like we still sports fans will buy it. We will buy it over and over again because we love sports games. Like that's just it. Like no one buys a sports game that is not obsessed with that game. Like no random like average Joe is gonna be like, you know what, I might pick up like the new FIFA this year. Like no one says that. Either you're obsessed with it and you will play it and get your money's worth, or you're not going to.
I think my favorite is still hearing about WWE every year, where
They still make
it
those games.
literally is somehow the same exact game every year, but it keeps getting worse.
Yeah,
it
it's
just keeps
progressively
falling apart
worse.
year and year, even though it's the same exact game. Like people are like, every character is the same, they all control the same, except somehow it's exploding. Models are just flipping out, and nobody knows. Like, how did you make it worse when you just copied and pasted it?
Well, sometimes I never know if those games are getting worse or if it's that everything around it's getting better and it's staying this. It's just stagnant,
It's
so
just
we
staying
assume
the
it's getting
same.
worse. So like
Yeah,
because
probably.
I've went back like when people complained about certain things for like I think it was like Madden 15. I went back to like Madden 2012, and I was like, huh, these it plays exactly the same. All these problems that people are complaining about in 2015 that are in 2012, no one complained about because we didn't really care at that time.
Yeah.
But now it's like
It was just
now
all
it's
you
like 3
had
years-
back then.
3 years later. Well, that's a whole entire thing. Like there was like reports and everything. Like EA released like or not EA released, like ex-employees at EA Sports were like, yeah, they made us like keep like bugs and janky things in there so they could quote unquote fix and update it later on as like a reason to keep updating it. Like that's why like there's purposely so many janky things left in some of the sports games so they can quote unquote fix it. And I'm like, that's so stupid. And I fucking hate.
I hate so
EA
bad for
sometimes.
QA, dude.
I hate.
I love
QA's
EA.
out there trying their fucking best.
Actually, no, that's not true. I don't love EA. I love DICE, which is a part of EA. So unfortunately, I love EA to an extent.
I hate EA. They keep closing down all their good studios.
Not DICE.
Fuck you, EA. They have
on DICE.
Respawn now. Please don't hurt Respawn. Please let them make Titanfall 3. Please let them make Titanfall 3. I don't
is
care about
definitely
Apex
their
Legends.
moneymaker right now. They are not going to shut down Respawn.
But like,
I mean, big companies love doing that. Microsoft killed Rare for that reason. Rare was making so many good games, and then
Rare's still alive.
Rare's still alive. They're just like a fucking back burner. Like they
No,
don't get to
I'm
make the
talking
games
about
they
like
want to make
EA
anymore.
buys companies just to
Just to
shut
shut them down. That is
Oh,
a
do
thing.
They like
Yeah,
have them make a
yep.
game or two, and then they
100%.
I love America.
They made like Guerrilla
Capitalism.
made Dead Space and then Dead Space 2. And for horror games, those were both big hits because horror games don't sell well, obviously. But then they went, no, it's not doing Call of Duty numbers, so make the third one co-op and not as scary. And so then Dead Space 3 failed even harder because no Dead Space fan actually wanted that. And then they just shut them down, even though they forced them to make the
Dead
game
Space
that
3
way.
was not. Dead Space 3 is like the one I actually played because it wasn't very scary. I'm like, this doesn't seem very freaky.
That's the one that I wanted to play because it's not that scary.
Dead Space
because
1.
it's like the one that they're outside in like snowman land. I'm like,
Exactly.
the fuck is happening?
Hot take. Not really. Just, I like horror games. Dead Space
Lukewarm
1
take.
was not that scary at all. I was playing through it, and I was like, this is a great game.
You're talking to the wrong
did not
person.
scare
it took
me
a
at
long
all.
time for me to. It took me until like college to play like BioShock because I was terrified of BioShock for
Oh
the
my god,
longest
y'all are
time.
cowards.
Oh no,
I mean,
it was
that's
high school,
justified.
but like BioShock was fucking weird. Like because when BioShock 1 came out, I was in like 9th grade or something like that, and it was fucking creepy. It was that's a creepy game. That's a creepy game if like you're going into like because at that time like the only shooter games I'm playing are like James Bond Nightfire and James Bond games and Call of Duty games, and it's like here's a really weird fucking world of like BioShock. You're like, oh,
That one's
'cause,
like not even a horror game even, though.
I think it technically has that's why like for the M rating it like has like horror as a reason.
It's
It
bloody.
has a lot of
I
jump-
would
it has some
not
jump
dictate
scares
it
in there
as
for
a
you.
horror game.
Oh, I would not dictate it as a horror
yeah.
game either at this point because like it's the same as like Wolfenstein. Wolfenstein's not a horror game either.
It's
but it has, like,
atmospheric.
It has
Like,
horror
it's not-
elements to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of horror and Evan, though, I will issue this challenge again where everyone
Okay.
can see and hear it. Evan, I want you to race me in a Resident Evil game.
I don't speedrun
Dickie,
video
no,
games.
listen, Dickie. So here was the deal I wanted to make with
Oh
Evan.
my god. Okay.
Because I love Resident Evil. I've gotten pretty good at the newer ones.
You're a
And Evan
speedrunner.
said,
I'm not.
No, I'm not. I'm not a speedrunner. Resident Evil is just made to be finished
Mario
quickly.
Sunshine.
Shut up. I'm not a speedrunner. I've only ever actually speedrun like one game, and I was like, it took me like several tries
Was
just
it
to
fucking
crack top
Tetris?
100.
How could I lose
No,
faster?
it's speedrun Tetris. It was Super Mario 3D World's Bowser's Fury specifically. Regardless, so Dickie, see if this sounds fair to you. I want Evan to play through just one campaign of Resident Evil 2. My first playthrough, not knowing anything, just like Evan would, took me about 10 hours. Now, being generous to Evan, I can now beat all 4 of Resident Evil 2's campaigns in approximately 2.5 to 3 hours. I did it recently, it was still under 3 hours. The race was Evan has to just beat 1, while I try to beat all 4.
Evan, have you ever played any Resident Evil games?
Yes.
I played 8, and that
And it
was
was one of his best streams. He said that was one of his best performing series.
It genuinely was. It really was because I think
I
people
feel
just
like that's
love that I get scared. That's it.
I feel like that's a fun challenge, but at the same time, I don't know if it's exactly fair because Resident Evil to me is like Half-Life, where if you know what to do, you can blitz through it so quickly because like all the puzzles are there, or, like aren't there.
That,
But,
yeah,
like,
that's true.
But like, I like Half-Life. I played Half-Life 1. It took me like fucking 20 hours to do. I was so confused at times. Maybe it wasn't 20 hours. It was probably 20 hours. It was so confusing. The next time I played it, I beat it within like an hour because I just knew every single thing what to do. So like, I feel like Evan could get stuck on one single thing for like an hour and a half, and you'd already just beat it. So I don't know.
It would take.
Would it be entertaining? Yes, 100% entertaining. I don't know if it's fair, but it's entertaining.
It's definitely not fair. Absolutely not.
In the in-game clock, which doesn't count like cutscenes. So if I still watched every cutscene, it would still take me way longer than 2.5 hours to actually get through each one.
The thing is, though,
But,
when
like,
I play horror games,
you
I get
cannot
very,
get it
very
faster than like
terrified.
2.5 without properly speedrunning it, which I don't know how to do, and I wouldn't bother doing.
It's not a fair thing. You know what, guys? How about this, all right? If this episode of the podcast, this exact episode of the podcast, gets 5,000 views, make it hard.
Wow, you made it real hard. I thought you were going to
Yep.
say like 1,000 or 2,000 even.
5,000 views. I will take him up on that challenge.
Let's go. We'll
Great,
even
so you're
let
not
you
doing-
like take a break.
So no,
like,
we're
every
not
time
so
I
the
finish
challenge
one,
isn't
we can
happening.
take a
Good to know.
break.
Good to know this challenge
This
is
is
not
just-
happening.
It's never gonna happen. I'm never gonna get to race heaven in Resident Evil 2.
If we get 10,000 on this one, I'll speedrun FIFA.
Speedrun FIFA. Speedrun Football Manager, coward.
God, I fucking hate
You're not even
football.
allowed to play
That
football.
ruins the whole point of it. Like, you don't even get to play the fucking player. If I can't play
It's
as
just
Cristiano
spreadsheet
Ronaldo,
manager.
am I really playing FIFA?
Just
It really is
open an
just-
Excel spreadsheet and write all the
It
players'
really
names.
is.
That's the
I
Football
might as well
Manager.
fucking do a pivot table. Be like, okay, how am I gonna read this? Fuck that.
Oh.
Do we have a hypothetical this week?
Do it.
I actually do have one. Actually, our hypothetical this week. What would you guys do to survive an attack from Michael Myers? It's Halloween themed. This is the month of October.
Ooh.
Oh, you're talking to the wrong person. So my favorite TikTok star is Stanzi Potenza, and Stanzi Potenza loves to make videos about like getting kidnapped by someone and just being like, oh, this is it. This is my exact thing. I feel valid. I feel safe. Thank you for saving me. And the kidnapper's always like, oh my god, why do I always find the crazy people? So I feel like I'd be the person like, oh, Michael Myers, like daddy, like I see what I hear
I don't
you.
think
I
he
see you. You're
kidnaps
valid.
people.
Like I'm fine. You can murder me. Like this is
Just-
fine. Can you make it cool though? It's just got to be a cool death. So like I don't know. I mean, to defend
He has
myself, I don't
killed
know.
people
Fucking
in
like
very cool ways.
he has killed. He has like. So Halloween's actually like of the big slashers. It's probably my like least favorite one. I love the theme song, but like I'm much more of a Friday the 13th fan and like other random ones like. This weekend I just watched like Candyman. Oh, God, I love
Candyman's
Oh,
great.
the original
was
Candyman,
God.
1992's
Yeah,
Candyman.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Okay,
the
I
old
haven't
one.
seen that one yet.
Fantastic.
I did
What?
watch the new one. I watched the new one, and apparently it is canon. And it has a direct connection to
Oh,
the
yeah,
old one.
it does.
So now
It does.
So now I want to watch the old one because the new one was
Oh.
freaking amazing.
The old one is.
Oh, like-
it is like it was considered like the black horror movie because it was all
Yeah, it
about
was.
it's all about the projects and like it's all about urban legends and all that kind of stuff. It's incredible. It's
Oh,
like
it's a good movie.
it's
The
a
first one's a good
near-perfect
movie. The
Fucking
second and
great
third ones
movie.
are not great.
Have not watched anything
They're not
past the first,
amazing.
and I will keep it that way.
The second,
That's fine.
the second one's
Jordan Peele's
watchable.
Candyman is great though.
Okay,
The second
I
one's
believe
watchable. The third one is not watchable. It's really bad.
Yeah. Saw.
Does it
First
actually
Saw
survive
movie.
Michael Myers?
First Saw movie.
A gun?
So good.
I guess a gun.
Anyway, go ahead. Yeah. So if we're talking, wait, which canon of Halloween are we talking about though?
Let's just talk about the
Halloween
first
to
one.
Halloween. Like
Ooh.
first to the newest, or
No,
like
just the
1
first one.
through 6, or just
Like
the
the
first
originals?
Just the yeah.
A gun.
one? Yeah, no. Because what I was gonna say was if we're doing the current canon, which is Halloween and then Halloween and then Halloween Kills, he technically did get caught, which means the gun did mostly stop him.
Mm-hmm.
Like he
Oh, we're
got
talking
up
about
after,
the newest
sure,
one with
but then he
with
was
what's her
caught.
face in it. Who's the actress that is in that movie?
Jamie
The
Lee
newest
Curtis.
one?
Jamie
Yes,
Lee
Jamie
Curtis.
Lee Curtis. So we're talking
She's
about
in
that
all
one.
of them.
Yeah, she's in all.
She's the main girl.
She's the main
in
character.
the first movie.
Yeah,
Wow, it's been a while since I've seen Halloween. Apparently,
yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis is hot. Anyway,
Yeah,
that's not a
I
controversial
don't know if Jamie
statement.
Lee
That's
Curtis
not a
is hot, but
controversial
Jamie Lee Curtis
statement.
is like
Everybody loves
I
Jamie
love
Lee
her.
Curtis.
I
who
do love
doesn't
her
love
as
Jamie
well.
Lee Curtis? That's like Fran Drescher. Everyone loves Fran Drescher, like or Betty White.
That is
True.
Betty White, yes.
True.
Fran Drescher. I know people who hate Fran Drescher.
No,
They're my family.
It is illegal to hate Fran Drescher. She was my
I like
first,
her.
like
I used to watch The Nanny on Naked Night all the time. But
Jennifer
the whole
Love
rest
Hewitt
of my
and
family-
her were my sexual awakenings.
Fran Drescher was your sexual awakening. Oh.
I love Fran
Dad,
Drescher
I'm
so
sorry.
much. Yo,
I'm
her
sorry
and the
for you on that.
Her and the nanny could fucking get it. She still can get it. Like, oh my god, she can fucking get it.
I share a birthday
yeah.
with her. Interesting fact. I just remembered.
So if I have sex with you, I'm kind of having sex with Fran.
No. No, you're kind of having sex with Will I Am though, because I also share a birthday with. It's like a chain. It's like the Avatars. There's a chain.
Just look at Evan's
So
face.
if
So
you have
wait,
sex
I
with me, it goes to
survive.
Will I Am. But if you have sex with
We
Fran
went on
Drescher, you
such
don't
a bad
The way
tangent.
I
I'm
would
sorry, we gotta go back to
survive-
this.
Is that I would 100% I would die. I don't think I would be able to survive an attack by Michael Myers.
What a
at all.
fucking you
If I
gave the
didn't have time
hypothetical
to
that
go
you
buy a
just gave
shotgun.
up. Are you fucking
No, I
kidding
didn't
me?
give up. Here's I've thought about this extensively. Okay, when it comes to scary situations, I freeze up. So like I would just die.
Evan, the black one always survives.
Yeah, every
you
horror
did not
movie,
just
the black
say that.
one's
You
always
did.
fun.
You did not just. You didn't really. You want to talk about Candyman again? you want to bring that up again?
Go watch
Yeah,
the
because
original.
you know who the only people who died in Candyman were all white people besides one black woman. All the other ones were white people. Everyone in that project survived.
No, there's one black baby.
Yes.
Who
that's the
survives?
person
Who also
is-
No,
survives?
the baby gets killed
He
in
is
the first movie.
No, the baby is the character that's in Candyman, the new one.
What?
Yes.
Oh,
There's like a whole.
I'm so excited to
What?
watch
There's
this.
like a whole scene where they like arrest her. It's like she killed a baby.
no,
killed that woman's
no.
baby.
Stop spoiling things. Every fucking
What?
time we talk about movies, you spoil things.
Okay, that movie's from 1992, 94.
Yeah,
Spoilers
92,
are up
and-
on that. 20 years.
No,
20 years
absolutely
are the
not.
spoilers.
Absolutely.
Like, even the most generous, it's
it
like
hasn't
20
been 20. It still hasn't been 20 years for it.
It
then.
hasn't been 20 years.
Yes,
it has
it
been
has.
over 10 though, which I
What?
think. I think spoiler
1994.
territory.
94.
94.
20
It has
years
not
was
been 20
2014. You were born in 94, Dickie.
We just got exposed for being old right now, and I don't really appreciate this. Dickie, do you just want to
The
like
movie's older than me, and I just turned 24.
Dickie? We might need to just stop.
I think we might
So
need
it was-
to
it
end
was-
the episode.
It was great having you as a guest here, Steve.
I proved him wrong on Steve from Blue's Clues. I proved him wrong on the age of a movie from
No.
1994. The same age as him.
No, you're
by
still
the way.
you're still not
the
old
same
enough.
age
You're
as
still not old
him.
enough for Blue's Clues, and you're getting muted right now. If you say anything else, you're not old.
Dickie's the same age as that
Dickie and
movie
I
and
are
thinks
just-
he's younger than 20.
Dickie and I are just 20 at heart, right? Like we're just young, you know. I'm definitely
maybe-
not almost 30.
I act like I'm 22, even though my body's trying to kill me.
I may be 24, but my body's 63.
I'm just still not old enough for Blue's Clues. Anyways,
The answer is
So-
shotgun, by the way.
so Steve says shotgun. Evan's just gonna die. I said
That or
gun.
you just home alone the house. If you have time, you just home alone the house, but like extra hard.
Wait,
So
wait, no.
it's-
I would like to change my answer. I would like to recruit other horror movie villains to fight them. So it's it's
Like
not
to
an alien.
get
Hey,
Freddy.
It's a predator versus
You-
alien, alien versus predator kind of situation. So I would like to recruit Jason and Freddy Krueger to assist me.
They're fighting.
I
They're still
don't
fighting.
think
They're
they
still
like
mad at
each other. I'm pretty sure that they
Yeah,
hate
no,
each other.
those two had their
Well,
own
then
fighting movie.
That's even fucking. You know what? I refrained to change all my answers. Godzilla. I would like Godzilla. Godzilla is
That's
my
kind of
ally
OP.
in the
That is
situation.
kind of OP.
Okay,
not
wait.
gonna lie.
Here's a second fun hypothetical based on that my friend asked me earlier today. Who would win? Every character from Smash Brothers or every character from the Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny?
What's the Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate
Yeah, I
Destiny?
don't think I've ever heard of that.
What the fuck? It's like a classic early internet thing, like early Newgrounds, YouTube.
I have no idea what we're talking about.
We're too old for
What
this,
the
apparently.
fuck?
We are.
just
No,
way
you're
too old.
not!
You know, Steve is just a literal child.
What the
you know,
fuck are you talking about?
looking at all this weird stuff
Well,
on the
Steve,
internet.
it was great having you as a guest here.
It was
Next
very
week,
fun.
next week,
Next
I don't know
week
who's
I'm
gonna be-
hosting because it's
Next week, I don't know who our guest is gonna be. I'm super excited.
next week
for
is
it.
spilling the milk.
Oh, so
Spoilers.
we're gonna
I'm
have
hosting
we're gonna have
Spilling
four.
the Milk.
So next week we'll have four new
We have
guests.
4 guests. We got 4 guests,
Super
everybody.
excited.
Fuck. Sorry, you two are gonna have 4 guests, not we.
Evan and I will have 4
person
Gotta
guests.
get to
have to
episode
edit
30.
Yeah, it's gonna really suck for Steve to edit next week's episode.
Fuck off.
I'm gonna be really busy that week,
Oh, I hate you all.
and you know for a fact I will do
At
it.
the
I will
end of
just-
the
I will be a
day,
jerk and
attempts
say,
were made.
This has
I
been
will-
another episode of
let me tell
Attempts
you-
Were Made, guys. Attempts were made to make this episode very entertaining. Hopefully you got to the end here. And if you did, make sure to check out our Patreon because, you know, this episode came out early for the folks on Patreon and you missed out on it. So, yeah, check out our Patreon. Follow us on social media. All of us, not just me, because I know Steve, he's not worth following. And Dickie is worth following. So, yeah.
What
No, follow
I
all
don't
of
know.
us,
What is
especially
this bit
Steve. He
about?
needs
I'm
it.
not worth following.
He
Like,
needs
like-
it. He definitely needs it, guys.
There's like
He does
Eden
need
did
it.
the
His-
same
his
thing where
ego.
like he shouted out a bunch of us and he was like, "Go follow all of them except Steve." And I was like, "Why?"
That's the whole reason I did this.
At least he said your name. He didn't even say my name.
Oh yeah.
But thank you guys for watching the episode, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
That's Vidania.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. It's so a trap. It's so a trap.
Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't.